The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. I'm murderous. Simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout le monde haïtien, como ye. God save the Queen.
Broadcasting live from ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. Welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And of course, I am a member of the local Catholic Christian community. My spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll, has just ended the show, but I have a very good friend who is always interested in politics. Well, Keyshawn Forbes. He hails from F&M country. That's Freeport, Grand Bahama, but he has been compelled to come to Nassau. Keyshawn Forbes, how are you?
A pleasant good afternoon, Mr. Monker, and very pleasant good afternoon, Freedom March. Pleasure to be here.
Well, I have been encouraging Keyshawn to come to the studio and to hear the gospel, the political gospel. Who are you talking to?
That's awesome sounds. I like that.
That's me? Goodness have mercy. Okay. Well, it's the producer in the background. And, of course, I've been encouraging Keyshawn to listen to Freedom March because this is one F&M youth that I intend to turn his mind away from the F&M. But in the course of my desire, we ran into the Minister of Labor. And the next thing I know, he break off run behind his F&M Minister of Labor. Well, who was the Minister of Labor? Let me see if you knew who was who. Who was the Minister of Labor?
The Minister of Labor is none other than Dion Fox.
Dion Fox.
Yes, sir.
That's so. Well, since he run after Dion Fox, who has not created any jobs, I'm going to quickly bring my spiritual advisor back to work.
They're in the process of doing that, Mr. Monker.
You really think so?
Yes, sir.
You like that piece of bill that they turned into law yesterday?
Well, that is a very, very interesting bill, and that has some unique characteristics that I would like the F&M and particularly Dr. Minnis to expand on, because it's more things to that needs to be critiqued, and the Bahamian public needs to know what's going on in order for them to feel comfortable with allowing such a bill to be presented amongst us.
Well, you heard my Negro brother from Freeport, Grand Bahama, who's currently living in Nassau. But folks, there are one or two things on my mind, and I also have one or two state documents in my hand, because there is a message that I wish to teach to my people, the Negro people, as today I continue to play investigative journalism. I ain't got no training, but I got common sense. And I'm about to show you the crooks among us. I'm about to produce a Commission of Inquiry report that was not complimentary of the Bahamas Defense Force and or the Royal Bahamas Police Force as I pursue to find out where the guns, where the bullets are,
Wow.
as I compare one commission of inquiry to another one that I anticipate, if it is God's will, we will have one day. I'll be right back after the break.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I have with me for the next half an hour a young man, Keyshawn Forbes. Keyshawn, welcome once again to Freedom March.
It's a privilege to be here, Mr. Monker. I'm obliged.
Well, folks, I'm certain by now you would have read the Punch. You would have read the front page of the Nassau Guardian, in which a serious family dispute is taking place over the funeral of the late Sir Arlington Griffith Butler. It is a family tragedy where a stepmother and her stepchildren are openly in the newspaper debating the family secret. Well, since it's in the newspaper and everybody appears to be talking about it, well, I might as well talk about it as well. It is interesting to note, you hold on to that Punch, that the Punch has spoken the gospel. It has given us more information than the Nassau Guardian and or the Tribune. There is a photograph on the front page of today's Punch. Every citizen should get a copy of the Punch. And at the bottom of the Punch, we can see the photograph of the First Lady Butler. There it is, the First Lady Butler, in which the Punch has revealed that prior to the death of Lady Butler, she did approve the marriage of her husband to the second Lady Butler. All of us who are members of the same breakfast club, sometimes we don't openly discuss these things, but we come to understand the wishes and the desires of many of the members of our breakfast club,
Wow.
including their spouses. Because the first rule of the club is that women are not members and should stay far away. But Sir Arlington Butler has always disobeyed that rule, and he has brought the First Lady Butler to the meeting. He's also attempted to bring the second Lady Butler to the meeting, and she picked up and she stayed away. She would bring him and leave him. But the First Lady Butler, Lady Sheila, she comes. So she has to sit down and hear the man talk, various wordy talk. And in the course of all that talk, she sometimes talks. So we all know that Lady Sheila Butler and Lady Hazel Butler, they were the best of friends. And we all know that they all love Arlington. And we all know, all of us, starting from Henry Boswick, he knows it. We all always knew that once Arlington died, once Lady Sheila dies, that Lady Hazel will become the new wife. It was a common secret. I'm only talking about it because the Punch got it. And since I know that the Punch isn't lying, then I can also talk about it. Now sometimes parents do make mistake when they do not tell their children what their plans are. Perhaps the mother of the children did not say to them, "Children, when I die, my best friend. I want my husband to marry her. Sometimes you can't tell the children, but that's the facts. And we all know it. Over 60 of us men who are members of the group, we know it. In fact, I was inspired because I never thought about it. Wouldn't it be exciting that should my wife die before me, I marry her best friend? I never thought about that. But the idea was extremely tempting, but I never said it to my wife. But of course, she has said to me that should she go before me, she want me to get married. But she never said to me who I should marry to. But I said to her, woman, it's going to be difficult for me to marry again if you died before me. She wanted to know what was wrong with me.
Powerful.
And I said to her, how you expect me to marry as soon as you die if I don't start courting somebody? But she told me she didn't want me to court anybody, not now. But once she's dead, I am free to marry. So that is what the facts are. And I don't care who don't like it. We all know it. We sat down because I told you that Lady Sheila Butler was the only woman who came to the meeting because nobody could have gotten Sir Arlington Butler to tell her stay home. And so we all know it. That's why I blame Henry Bosbeck, because he could have sat down with the children quietly and say, listen, you're behaving yourself. Your mom approve it. You see, I don't got time to play games. All right? So that is what the facts are. The marriage was a pre-arranged. Now you may say, where I get that from? Well, I attend breakfast and I listen to the conversation. But I just don't get an old people conversation. But I listen to it. And so if anybody needs an affidavit from me, I'm prepared to give it. So that is what is going on there. And I'm going to give you a story that is true. And I'm sorry whose feeling is hurt. The PLP government, in its last term, honored Sir Arlington Butler. Do I have it correctly? I think it was the PLP who honored Sir Arlington Butler at Government House. Was it the PLP? I think it was. How do I know? Because I remember what Prime Minister Perry Gladstone Christie told Sir Arlington Butler. I remember, and I can tell you all, Christie, I'm sorry. As the PLP honored him at Government House, there were some of the men who moved closer to take photograph. And Perry Christie said to Sir Arlington Butler, he wasn't married to the second woman yet. He was surrounded by some of his children. And Christie said to him, Perry Gladstone Christie said to Sir Arlington Butler at Government House. He said, Sir Ali, well, these are the children you got now, so you said you don't need to marry. You heard me? Christie told him that. And Christie, you don't deny it, because I have all the men. Over the last couple of days, I've been waking them, trying to get them to remember what Christie said. So Christie told Sir Arlington. But of course, I don't think Christie may have known that he was contemplating marriage, because this was way before he finally decided to get married. And Sir Arlington needed to get married because those of us who were members of the group, we would see when he comes. And many of us were at times displeased about the manner in which he arrived. And he needed a woman. Needed a woman who's going to be faithful, lawful, and obedient. And this new wife was faithful and obedient. And I could talk because I used to carry him home. And I used to carry him on Sundays to the various restaurants that he goes to eat. So I am not talking based on speculation, because he was my dad's good friend. And I always wanted to be friendly with two men, Sir Arlington Butler and Henry Bosbeck. And I told both of them, I will be your friend even if I have to wait for you to get old and sick. And so when Sir Arlington became old and sick, I had a little car. So I take him where he won't go, wherever he wanted to go. So we know what the facts are. Lady Hazel Butler was selected by the first wife. All right? And she said it in the presence of all of us men from time to time. So the children them should relax. And I suspect that there is a game being played on the children. But I will not go into all of that. Now you all keep these bad stories out of the press, or I shall tell you more. Because Sir Arlington Butler and I have been having breakfast together from 1983. So I believe I had more breakfast with him than he owned children, because I saw him practically every day that he was on the island. So we know. Okay? So the Punch, I was so happy that you came out and you tell the nation that Lady Sheila told Ali before she died he could marry Hazel. And it was a wonderful, wonderful wedding. And then after the marriage, Sir Arlington's appearance improved significantly.
Wow.
Nice clean shirt, nice press coat suit, well groomed, well taken care of. And so I think it's powerful. And the children need not worry, because in the resurrection, none of them will be his wife. So that is powerful.
That's a very good way to look at it, Mr. Mungo.
You think so?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My grandmother told me that it is best to stay out of marriage people's affairs. She told me that it was best.
Okay.
And
Well, it is always better, but if they talk it in your presence,
it is a different.
and someone needs somebody to testify, then those who are party to the story, you know. And I think it's great, you know. I never thought about the concept. Isn't it wonderful?
Everybody
Blessed
needs a
is
shoulder
the wife
lean on.
who chooses her successor. It's powerful. So that's what it is. And I shall now leave that alone. As you know, Sir Arlington is having a state-recognized funeral on Friday at 11 a.m. at Christ Church Cathedral. And even though I was his friend, I shall not be going to the funeral because it is a funeral by invitation. And ain't nobody give me no invitation. I'm mad. Because we must learn that once you are dead, families and close friends take over your body and do as they see fit. But while we are alive, let us live good. So that is what is taking place. And I think it's wonderful. And I think most women should now choose a good woman for their husband.
Amen to that.
You support that?
Amen to that.
Yeah, it's powerful. They had a wonderful relationship. So Arlington every year took both women on a boat cruise. They fly all over the world. They sail all over the world. It's powerful. It was a wonderful, wonderful relationship. And so I would hope that the family can return to a sense of dignity. Let Sir Arlington buried, and then about a week or two, just row over the estate. Because Sir Arlington has plenty things. Just row, and so forth. And if you ain't sure where all the things are, I think I did remember just off Roland Avenue, Sir Arlington had one house there, and I still think he owns it. Just in case you all don't know, I'll just show you all the house and you all do your title search. So that is what is taking place here. And I thank the Punch for, letting the country know. And so that's how that goes. I'm concerned about allegations developing in the Supreme Court of the Bahamas. I'm very concerned because there are serious allegations of forgery in the Supreme Court. That is not good for justice, because once we begin to accuse senior jurists or people of signing unlawfully the signatures of members of the judiciary, it ain't a good thing. So when I come back, I'm going to have to tell you how a registrar of the Supreme Court has said that a signature on his document, he never signed it.
Wow.
I don't know what's going on.
Wow.
Lord Jesus, what is wrong with my Negro people? If you know that the judge or the registrar didn't sign the document, why are you frauding it? Then look how embarrassing it can be when it goes to the corruption unit and then they see who did it.
Yes.
Anyway, to the corruption unit, I believe in the rule of law. But when you find out who the scallywag is, please don't charge them, because I would be embarrassed. But the fraudulence must stop. I want it to stop
Please.
because the deputy registrar was supposed to appear before me to notarize his affidavit. But praise the Lord, he changed his mind and he found a Negro who was more influential than I am. And when I come back, I will reveal the identity of the deputy registrar whose signature they lifted. And he now swears an affidavit, it wasn't me.
Wow.
Lord Jesus, I bring my people before you. It would appear that the institutions of the Bahamas are slowly collapsing. And when institution implodes, it is then that the revolutionary walks to the center of the stage, look to his left, look to his right, and declare revolution. Oh, justice, thou hast fled the brutish peace, and they're now frauding the signature of the court. But Carl Bentley can tell you, chances are he's so grossly incompetent, he even didn't know. But I can tell y'all, when we come back, and I don't care who jailed me, because I'm 60, and I'm sick, and I may get better medical attention
It's
in
wonderful.
prison.
So, so Mr. Monka, how do you feel that if this actually makes the news, like what would that do to our nation?
It will not make the news because Candia is not an investigative journalist. There's only one in the whole Bahamas. It's me, and I'm playing it. This is Freedom March. Be right back after the break.
Stay tuned, Nassau, Bahamas.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker, and of course, I'm so excited that my spiritual advisor, Bradley Rule, has now joined me in studio. Bradley, how are you?
I'm doing well, Mr. Monka.
And today has
How
been
about
fine.
yourself, huh?
And today was fine as well?
Yeah, man. Yeah, today was a great day, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
A lot of turkey, man. A lot of turkey.
You are taking? Nobody offered me no turkey.
I got some stuff for you.
You have some stuff for me, my spiritual advisor?
I bought a lot of food, man.
Really?
I just couldn't turn it down. I bought a lot
Wow.
of food. So you straight, all right?
This is powerful.
A lot of turkey, a lot of ham.
And what
A
about
lot of
lettuce?
peas and rice. Oh, no, I can't give you
Well,
that stuff.
I'll eat peas and rice. What about lettuce
Macaroni,
and tomatoes?
coleslaw, yam,
Wow.
all kind of stuff, man.
That
So you-
sounds like unsafe food, my
You
spiritual
straight, man.
advisor.
Listen, I had so much females call me today to offer me Thanksgiving lunch. Is unbelievable, you know.
This is powerful. This is powerful.
Oh,
My
boy.
spiritual advisor, while you were on your way to studio, I drew to the attention a front page story in which the Punch revealed that Lady Sheila Butler had sanctioned the marriage of Sir Allington to Lady Hazel.
Ooh.
In the resurrection,
Is that a fact, though?
my spiritual advisor,
That's listen.
the Negro man,
If that is a fact, right? That is extremely noble in that it reminds me of an Old Testament story.
go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Here it is. We had, Sarah, who apparently her wombs was closed, and Abraham, wanted a son. She couldn't bear the son, but of course she had a maid, Hagar.
Wow.
And interesting enough, this woman loved her husband enough to say to him, "Listen, I can't have this child, but what I can do is, we have Hagar, the maid. Why don't you go and sleep with her, and maybe she can produce this son?" And the story goes on that is what happened. Sarah brought Hagar to Abraham. Hagar became Abraham's wife. He went into her. She became pregnant, and she bore him his son Ishmael. So it's noble. To hear the story, it's a fascinating story. You cringe when you hear it, but apparently it is reality. You said that that is what happened, but it's causing some issues. We got to try and understand the children's position, and somewhat, there's a lot of feelings involved with this. Haven't spent so much time with their mom, some 48 years,
Yeah, but there was no divorce.
Yes, I understand
Spouses
that. Yeah, she died. Yeah.
from time to time die.
Yeah, and of course.
And in the resurrection,
That's interesting. You raised that point.
Yes.
There's a passage found in Matthew chapter 22. I wouldn't read all the story, but as we drop down verse number 29, the gist of the story is that there was a man who had a wife, and he died
wow.
without producing offspring. And the law is that if he dies, then his brother takes his wife so that he could produce offspring for him. And then he died without producing offspring, right down to the seventh. So they questioned Jesus, right? They asked him, well, we want to know at the resurrection, whose wife will she be? And Jesus answered them. This is Matthew chapter 22, there about verse number 29. It says, but Jesus answered them, you are wrong because you know neither the scriptures nor the power of God, because in the resurrection they neither marry or are they given in marriage, but they are like the angels in heaven. So at the resurrection, wife thing. So we must enjoy these women here. What are you laughing at? Get married, do the right thing. Enjoy these women, because at the resurrection there'll be no marriage. Marriage is for this side and this side only.
So there'll be no dispute in the resurrection?
No. Ain't can be no arguments over, who
And the
wife
children
was supposed to be.
cannot put question
Oh, no, definitely not.
to the parents.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
That's about the only problem that I have with the resurrection.
Which is?
I really would like my wife to return as my wife in the resurrection.
Yeah, but remember now, this body that we have is going to be, it's sown a natural body. When we die, thus we are, and thus we return.
But the resurrection.
But apparently at the resurrection, this body will take on a change. It is raised, it is sown a natural body, but then it will be raised a spiritual body. So there is no connection somewhat between the physical and the spiritual. This physical thing that we have now, we experience with women and love and sex and all this, would not equate when the spiritual body is risen from the dead. It's going to be a spiritual body, so it's going to be a new way of life, a new thing.
So some of this row is of no
Yeah,
consequence
don't make
then.
it's mute, you know.
This is powerful.
It's mute.
But you do like the concept where wife number one recommends wife
But
number
you said that
two.
this was said at the Breakfast Club?
I tell you, everybody, all of the men, any
Wow.
male who tell you
Wow.
that this is not true, they are a liar.
Yeah, that's interesting. But
And the truth is not in them.
but somebody should have explained that to the kids, you know?
No. I'm not getting in that.
No.
No. All right. So, that's
Absolutely.
where
Absolutely.
we are.
Yes.
Well, folks, by now you would have heard that the United States government has announced that the over 60,000 Haitian nationals who were given a certain kind of refuge because of the earthquake in the Republic of Haiti, well, they are soon to bid them farewell. And so that is an interesting development. And you would recall that a couple of weeks ago, a boat whom the local authorities claims to be a Haitian sloop arrived in the Bahamas, and not one single man, woman, or child was found on the boat and within the surrounding area. And so we were not able to detect what I now call a boat with a phantom crew, with a ghostly crew, with a voodoo crew. We were not. So it may not be a Haitian slope because they were not able to. And one of the reasons why they were not able to is because the chairman of the National Security Council, the Prime Minister, sent a boat that we needed for the continental territorial waters of the Bahamas to be guarded and secure. Menace sent it to Dominica. So a whole vessel came here because they sent the boat to Dominica. And so there was no proper security, notwithstanding that I had received reports that the United States government had hired the boat that was going to Freeport. What is the name of that boat that I think went to Freeport or Bimini?
The cap?
What is the name of the boat that they, FBS? Is that the one? Anyway,
Who's on the boat?
I think
The
it,
cap? No?
I'm not sure. But in any event, either it is the boat that goes to Grand Bahama or went to Bimini. The U.S. government, according to reports that I have received, had hired that boat to go to Dominica. So it was unnecessary for Dr. Minnis to take away our Defense Force boat and send it way down in the Caribbean to Dominica, while the shores of the capital was left insecure, and a whole vessel came in undetected, and not one person did they arrest who reportedly come off the vessel. Well, let's look at what is taking place in the United States, because Jacqueline Charles and Patricia Mazzi has written a story about it. So I'm going to read it to you because it is dated Tuesday, November 21st, 2017. The article goes like this. After years of being shielded from deportation from the United States, while their disaster-prone country continues to recover from its devastating 2010 earthquake, tens of thousands of Haitians will now lose that safeguard. The special deportation protection, known as Temporary Protected Status, or TPS, will be revoked for as many as 59,000 Haitians living and working in Miami and across the U.S. Department of Homeland Security Acting Secretary Elaine Duke announced Monday the protection will permanently terminate July 22nd, 2019, allowing Haitians living in the U.S. under TPS an 18-month window to return to their struggling homeland at the end of the 18 months. Haitians who had TPS but remain in the U.S. will return to whatever immigration status they previously held, leaving them facing possible detention and deportation if they stay in the U.S. illegally. With this decision, the law is relatively explicit that if the conditions on the ground do not support a TPS designation, then the Secretary must terminate the TPS destination. A senior administration official said on a call with reporters Monday night to announce the decision. The conversations she had were constructive. They were informative. They were helpful. And we fully expect that in 18 months coming up, the acting secretary will continue those conversations with the members on the Hill and the Haitian government to prepare for the return of Haitian TPS recipients. The decision comes 14 days after the Department of Homeland Security announced it was terminating TPS for 2,500 Nicaraguans and delaying a decision for 57,000 Hondurans, which automatically gave them a 6-month extension after their current status expires in January. The announcement, while pleasing to immigration hardliners who argue that the provision was never meant to be permanent, deals a hard blow to longtime Haitian and immigration advocates. For months, they have lobbied the Trump administration to extend the status for at least 18 months. It had been set to expire January 22nd. Haiti is not ready to absorb 58,000, said Marlene Bastian, a South Florida Haitian activist who has pushed for at least an 18 months extension of TPS. It's going to be a disaster for the 58,000 families in the U.S. and a disaster for Haiti. Clearly, they are not making decisions based on facts on the ground, but rather politics. This is purely unacceptable. There is no reason to send 68,000 Haitians back to a country that cannot provide for them. This decision today by the Department of Homeland Security is unconscionable, and I'm strongly urging the administration to reconsider. Ultimately, we need a permanent legislative solution. Members of Congress from South Florida reacted with dismay. Florida Senator Bill Nelson, a Democrat, called the decision unconscionable, urging the administration to reconsider. U.S. Representative Ileana Ros-Lehtinen, a Republican, and U.S. Representative Frederica Wilson, a Democrat, both vowed to look for legislative solutions. Now, you would recall that one day in the House of Assembly, the Prime Minister, the Honorable Hubert Minnis. Remember when I exposed to the country that Frankie Alfred Campbell was not born in the Bahamas. And I told the government he can't prove he was born in the Bahamas. Because if he could prove he was born in the Bahamas, then he would be entitled to citizenship, since he argued that he was born on the 1st of July, 1967. You remember how Dr. Minnis got in the House of Assembly, and like a madman, no one could contemplate why he just said, all of y'all go home. Told all of Frankie them to go home. Well, Minnis had advanced intelligence. I submit that the Americans were going to move to end that relationship with the Haitians. And so he, having received advanced intelligence and also angry over the fact that as close as him and Frankie Campbell is, Frankie never told him the secret. Frankie never said, you know, Doc, I know Bahamian, you know. He never told him. He never told him. Minnis is mad because Minnis knows that what I'm saying is truth. And you want to know how I know? There is a secret that I have, and I cannot reveal the name of the secret man. I'm going to call him Secret Man. Secret Man would have told Minnis, listen, Moncur has the facts. And so Minnis was extremely upset because Frankie has turned out to be an embarrassment. So we have two embarrassments under Minnis' watch. The first embarrassment is he appointed a whole man who was not a citizen. The second one is the man, country, sent a whole boat here, and Minnis ain't know when the boat arrived. Minnis didn't know, and he's prime minister. Who's the deputy prime minister? My spiritual advisor.
Keep it a Turnquest, right?
Peter didn't know. Who's the minister in charge of immigration?
Johnson, eh?
The Conky Joe man.
Oh, Brent Simonet?
Brent Simonet.
Oh, okay.
Brent didn't know.
Okay.
Who's in charge of national security?
That's Marvin Dames.
Marvin didn't know. So Minnis has had a series of illegal immigration shock. The first shock is Frankie. The second shock is a whole Haitian boat that came to the Bahamas. So I just wanted you all to know that. But I'm concerned about a statement which was issued by the Haitian Bahamian. Who's the Haitian Bahamian lawyer who's AQC?
Oh,
Fred Smith.
Fred Smith, okay.
My
okay.
spiritual advisor. How long
I
will
keep
I
forgetting,
you?
yeah, I keep forgetting Fred
Fred Smith has issued a statement. And on the front page of today's Bahama Journal, I am very stressed because there is a photograph of a Haitian woman and a Haitian Bahamian child, in which, according to Fred Smith, they were being pursued by members of the Bahamas Immigration Department, who Fred Smith said was armed, dressed in military fatigues, and was trying to catch a truck driven by a Haitian man. And as they pursued the truck speed, and they continued to follow the truck, and the Haitian man pressed more gas. And by the time he finished pressing gas, and the immigration was on him, the truck, if I got it right, either turn over or the woman and the child fall off the truck in the road. You hear me? And here is a little black baby, a black child, with the right side of her cheek bruised. And I asked the immigration, if you see women and children on the back of a truck that is fleeing the immigration, please don't play like you are living in the United States and go in hot pursuit, because I am upset. And if you all don't stop it, I have the gift and the capacity to call Haitian Bahamians to a meeting. Watch out for me. I have that gift to call Haitian Bahamians to a meeting. And we may stand up in the middle of the street and march against this kind of rank racism. I don't like it. You hear me? I do not like it. I demand that my people, the Haitian people, be treated good by my other set of the people, the Bahamian people, because we are all Negroes. We are all descendants of Africa. And in addition to that, an examination of history, of Haitian history, we will see that from 1804, when we raised up with our cutlass and we declared freedom against the French, when the Jamaican who was sold into slavery into Haiti from Jamaica, Dutty Buckman, he grabbed his machete and he turned to Toussaint St. Louverture and he said, we can't take this no more. France will give us freedom or there will be bloodshed. And as we rose up, and Toussaint St. Louverture declared, he declared, he called on each of us
To couper tête là.
to grab a machete as we fought for freedom.
Couper tête là.
And Toussaint, may the spirit of Toussaint St. Louverture and may the spirit of Dutty Buckman, that Jamaican slave, may the spirit of John Dessalines and may the spirit of Mama Sugi and all of our ancestors who were forced to fight for human rights, human dignity. I can hear, if only I could hear some drum. Any drum in the back there? What kind of Negroes in the back here? Jesus, I should resign. Goodness have mercy, they're not prepared. But in my mind and in my spirit, I can see Toussaint St. Louverture. I can see Dutty Buckman. I can see my ancestors. And they were both the French and the Haitian. And my people, the Haitian, we took up our cutlass, we lit our torches, and as Toussaint St. Louverture went off, he dit, peuple moyen, ce soir, nous demandons liberté. And Toussaint déclarait, boule caille and coupe tête là. That is the history. As blood flow in Haiti and the struggles of my people, the Haitian people, having gathered freedom for almost 200 or 300 years, we were raped economically as the white world demanded that we pay the French for our freedom. Lord, you know it isn't fair that after they would have captured us in Africa, put us on a boat to cross the passage, and over 100 million people die during the crossing to the New World. But yet, no one has announced a Holocaust to the Africans who perish on that journey. Oh, Papa Nuki Nasela, c'est pour nous respecter ou c'est votre volonté. And so, my people, the Haitian people, if only I had a Haitian flag in here, I would stand in solidarity with the suffering of the people of Africa and the people of Haiti, who it appears that in my lifetime they shall not be given human rights, human dignity. But Lord Jesus, it is in your hand. I commence the people of Africa and the people of Haiti. Let there be freedom and let there be justice. This is Freedom March. Haiti is on my mind.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
To Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker, and praise the Lord, my spiritual advisor, Bradley Rule, is here. Bradley, how are you?
I'm doing great, Mr. Monker. Blessed are those who die in the Lord, Mr. Monker. Henceforth, says the Spirit, for they rest from their labors and their works.
Well, talking about that, this
To follow
afternoon,
them.
I went to Parliament to sign the, what do we call that book you
Oh,
signed?
the guest book for the...
For the funeral.
Oh, okay.
Have
okay.
you been yet?
I haven't. What time does that...
My brother, you better go because the
Yeah.
funeral is 11 a.m.
Tomorrow. Okay, so
And
I'll go this
notwithstanding
afternoon.
that you sat very close with Sir
Yes,
Arlington at breakfast.
yes,
It is only for guests. So you better go to the House of Assembly
Yeah.
and sign the book. I already signed.
Only one thing I regretted, though.
What is that, my spiritual advisor?
I had begged Arlington Butler for years. I said, listen, me and you have to get together. I can come at your house and we could sit down and have a Bible talk, you know. And Sir Ali never granted me my wish, man. You know,
Sir Arlington was a saved man.
Well, we needed to critique some things, you
And
know.
he has
We needed to look at some things.
His church.
But he would not let me come in and sit with him so that we could have a one-on-one with the scriptures, you know.
Yeah.
That's one regret I have, you know.
Okay.
But other than that, he was a very close friend of my father. And, you know, it's sad that he has gone on, you know.
Well, we
But
all shall die.
absolutely. Hebrews 9:27.
shall all
Absolutely.
die.
Absolutely.
Well, folks, you remember I told you that I was concerned over the fact that the Auditor General is greatly disturbed over the inability of the Custom Department, the Defense Force, in producing the custom entry form, which will be evidence as to, you know, the gun stamp. Well, I thought about it, and then my mind went back to August of 2004. So I want you to look at it good. This is the last Commission of Inquiry report. And I'm going to save it for tomorrow. Because in this Commission of Inquiry report, it was an investigation into the HMBS Inagua incident and the vessel, Laura Quinn. It will tell us about the amount of cocaine that the government of the United States of America, in an attempt to entrap apparently local citizens and perhaps those in the Defense Force, set up a sting operation. And you know what the Bible teaches us? But the U.S. government went contrary to Holy Bible teaching. My spiritual advisor, does not the Bible say, lead us not,
Into temptation.
but deliver us,
From evil
for thine
is the kingdom
and the power
and the glory forever and ever.
We're not to lead people into temptation.
Amen.
We're not to set people up. I know a man was holy all his life. Holy. He was a member of the Church of God of Prophecy. He was a Holy Ghost man. Could speak in tongues. He could dance in a very revival manner. But on his way, he ran into the devil. And the devil tempted him and did not deliver him from evil. So, in 2004, was Marvin Deems, a member of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, was he? Let me make sure before Marvin beat me up. 2004, was he a member of the Royal Bahamas Police Force? And was National Security Minister Marvin Daines, where was he working in 1990? Where was he working in 1992? Well, I'm looking at the Commission of Inquiry report into the HMBS Inagua. So I'm going to read a little something, and every now and then I'll give you little tidbits, because this reminds me the missing bullets that Marvin say he could account for, the missing guns that Marvin say is there. We had the Defense Force and a very senior man who testified how much bales of cocaine arrive at the Defense Force. But this Commission of Inquiry found, don't mind these Negroes, don't mind them playing big, don't mind them. This Commission of Inquiry found how the cocaine disappear. Right here. Don't mind them. They're not saved, they're not sanctified, and they're not washed in the blood. Don't mind them. They got me to deal with as long as I'm alive, because I should remember things. Remember what I say, because I'm going to test y'all. When I ask you what I see, you have to tell me, Monica, you see things, you hear things, and you know some things. They could be the test right here. This is a comparison similar to what took place in 1990. I remember when the 3 or 4 white man wasn't dressed up, was brought to the magistrate court and charged with the smuggling and importation of the drugs. And then I remember when all of a sudden the government announced that they were going to withdraw those people, the charges against them. And I could see them leaving the court because the newspaper did carry it. But as a citizen, they didn't tell us that these were undercover drug dealers. What are undercover drug dealers? Undercover cocaine dealers, undercover cocaine smugglers are agents of a foreign power, namely the government of the United States. Sometimes they come looking like white people. Sometimes they look like Negro. Sometimes they look like other people around the world. That is why you must stand on principle. And when the devil shows up, you kick him in his backside and tell him, take your cocaine from around here, because you're being set up. And that is what has happened. And this is comparable. And I should be going through it so I could show you all how many bags of cocaine went missing between the trip from the Defense Force to the Drug Enforcement Agency, or wherever they carry the drug, cocaine. Now this is only a guess. I might be wrong. So I'm only thinking about 2004. See, I used to go to the commission. And when I go to the commission, I used to pull a trick on them. And I'm going to tell you what the trick is. When they were distracted, since there was hardly anybody there, I would hide. So by hiding, if they had intended to hold evidence in camera means with everybody out, by going and sneaking in, guess what I discovered? I discovered that the government of the United States of America paid some Defense Force officers $7,000. And then they start squealing on one another. But ain't many Negroes know that, because y'all son of a guns, y'all thought it was not important. So y'all ain't gone to the Commission of Inquiry. Oh, every time they call a commission of inquiry, Papa must have called 2 or 3. Papa must have called 2 or 3. That means my work was cut out because I needed to go to the commission. Because I want to be a witness to history so that when I speak, nobody can challenge it. But here is it. And I'll tell you what has happened now. They have gone up on the price. I bought one of these before, you know. Guess how much they selling this one for now? $34. I can tell my wife tonight I ain't going to be able to pay the light bill because I need it to get the Lorquin. Because I want to compare the cocaine that landed at the yacht. The yacht dam, who the PLP government wouldn't collect the taxes from. The yacht dam that the F&M wouldn't collect it from. And what do you call a place where a yacht is, you dig a hole in the country and yacht tie up? What do you call that?
The harbor?
Not harbor.
No, let me see.
Wait, what you call it? A marina.
The marina, right.
My spiritual advisor.
It slipped my mind there. When they dredge the
Tell Freeport,
yeah.
I'm coming now. They don't
The
pay
marina,
for the
marina.
marinas.
Yes.
Ask Brent Simonet. Brent, don't sue me. I ain't trying to give you no bad name. Tell them when last you pay marina fee. Hey, Brent, tell them. Ask the South Africans. The South Africans on Paradise Island ain't paying no marina fee. Go over here in the back where the man Kaisot Minis in the southwest area, they don't pay no marina fee. That's why I want to get rid of Frankie.
Talking about Albany?
You hear me? They don't pay it. These bunch of Negroes don't know how to collect taxes. Huh? But let me go to Freeport because I have days to talk about it as I try to help the Auditor General to find the guns and the bullets. And then I'll tell you about Marvin, because Marvin ought to remember when the Lorquin was here. Marvin, do you remember? Do you remember, Marvin, when the Commission of Inquiry found that between the Defense Force and the Royal Bahamas Police Force, 52 bales of cocaine went missing? Hello, Freeport. Hello? Well, Freeport ain't here. I go back to the Lorquin.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great, and yourself?
Well, I'm here. I'm stressed out, trying to fight these governments. What's happening? What's on your mind?
I'm the head coach of the Kenya Knights Track Club out of Grand Bahama.
Okay.
We're supposed to be traveling into Nassau tomorrow.
Really?
And we tried to get some Facebook sponsors, and I tried to go to local businesses that I know to help lower the cost.
Yes.
On the kids traveling into Nassau.
Okay.
Now, what we're trying to do is some of the distant athletes that I'm bringing over to the Shawnee Miller-Weibo Bay Street Mile.
Yes.
They are hands down some of the best in the country, if not the best.
Wow.
That's on paper. It's on stats.
Okay.
And it's a little costly to come to Nassau.
What is the Ministry of Youth doing? Ministry of Youth and Sport, they're not helping? Michael Pintard, he's an athlete, he's a poet, and he is the Minister of Youth and Sport. Is he providing any assistance?
Well, I didn't reach out to the minister because I know the minister right now has a lot on his table.
Really?
And I know he could be kind of hard to reach.
Really? The minister hard to reach? Goodness, my phone dead. Other than that, tomorrow. But go ahead, put your case. So what?
Yeah, but last year, Peter Turnquest, he would always help with flight arrangements. He would always give us a rate of probably $155. And Obi Wilchcombe, the former Minister of Tourism, he would always help. He would always stay at Breezes.
Yes.
And each person would have to pay $50 for their entire stay, whether it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So both both parties,
Yes.
last year, year before, and prior years, they helped to lower the cost on us.
What are they
So
doing this year?
this year, I ain't looking good.
Wow. I'm so sorry to hear that.
And these are some of the athletes that are getting ready for Carifta.
Wow.
Carifta is being hosted in Nassau this year, and
So y'all are coming to the Carifta?
no, we are coming. This is one of our one of our road races where we gauge where the athlete is at right now.
I see. And the government is providing no assistance.
No, not at this time.
Wow. Boy, oh boy, y'all in tough luck. I can't figure out how you can handle this one. Who's your MP?
In my constituency,
Yeah.
what's his name? Well, they just get in, so I don't know them like that.
Okay. You don't sound like a FNF. Because for you.
I'm not anything.
Okay.
I'm for whoever's for the people.
You're just like me.
So if PLP, if I feel like PLP is for the people, then I'm a PLP. If I feel at that time FNM is for the people, I can't stay on one side because one side is not always going to be right.
Yeah.
Everybody is not going to get it.
Look, the best I could do for you is tomorrow I shall give out the Minister of Youth's telephone number to you. He must.
No, I have it. I have him on WhatsApp.
What about his cell phone? You got that?
I have him on WhatsApp.
Man, make an appeal to him. Because I broke. Ain't nothing I can do for you. You see?
That's all.
Anyway, I'll case them out for you. You take good care.
All right.
Okay. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Moncur.
Hello, my love.
Hello, the spiritual advisor.
Hi, good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm okay. Mr.
Good.
Moncur, can I ask you 2 questions?
Go ahead, my love.
Your grandparents and your parents was Haitians?
My grandparents were not Haitian, nor are my parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. You all have a great day.
Okay.
You do the same, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. bye-bye.
Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Spiritual advisor.
Hey, what's up, man?
Erinko, what's happening, Rodney?
Right here, brother.
You say y'all got a lot of ham and turkey in there today?
Oh, I don't have any ham or turkey. I don't know if Sabat Semis allow food in here.
I thought spiritual advisor said that.
No,
Listen,
go ahead.
2 quick points. Rodney,
So,
the gentleman called just now, the young man, he's talking about being a part of a group of people that who representing the Bahamas.
yeah, he has this athletic team in Freeport. He needs to come. But the government nor the Minister of Sport are willing to assist.
It's only for one person?
Oh, no, he seems to have a number of people. Are you able to help one?
No, I won't suggest to you or remind you where you is and who you're working for. You don't think Sebastian would like to do something like that if you reach out to them?
But let me tell you something.
You
I want you to
can't
listen to
talk
me.
to the producer or somebody
You
and
listen to
ask
me.
them let them know. Because the government might, I don't know what's going on right now, but the government mightn't be able to assist them at this time and they might need their help urgently. What you say about that spiritual advice? You don't think senators should try reach
Let
out
me
to Sebastian
answer you.
and
Let
bring
me
it to
answer
their
you.
attention because they can't hear everything.
Okay,
They can't be
let me
everywhere.
answer you. Are you
Hello?
listening? My brother, are you
Yes,
listening?
Rodney.
Okay, now I want you to listen to me now.
Yeah, Rodney, I have one more thing I want to say to you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what were you doing a while ago, Senator? Were you suggesting to your people or the Haitian people, what you was trying to raise up a spirit or something? What you talking about machetes and cutlass? What are you talking about?
Now, you sound like a Negro I know.
Yeah,
Well,
let's pop up.
this supposed to be your good friend in Nassau Village.
Okay,
the
then
blind man.
so you're the man.
Yeah, so I want to know what were you suggesting? Are you suggesting us to fight against each other? or-
No.
I want you to listen to me because
Yes.
you should understand. You sound like a descendant of Turks and Caicos.
Yes, sir.
Do you know that many of the people in the Turks and Caicos are Haitians?
No problem with that, Mr. Monaco.
I merely went to a history, and,
Yes.
then I went off. There will
Nope.
be peace in the Bahamas as long as I live.
Yes.
But let's go to your question.
So rules and regulations here in the Bahamas, it doesn't matter if my people
Put
is
the
Haitian people.
Negro on hold for me. I have you on hold. I can bring you back. I want to answer you. Okay? Bring him back.
Yes, sir.
As a matter of policy, I avoid taking messages to Sabbats.
Okay.
Some of the most powerful, politically connected people have given me number. And I've said to him, listen, I just don't bother with him. All I do, he give me a whole TV. I don't know when he can take this TV back. So I tried to get here on time.
So are they still cracking the code?
Listen.
Are they still cracking the code? Because we could give them something of the $250,000. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Sabas can't be everywhere. He can't hear everything.
Okay.
So if he's listening, why don't we suggest that he help these young people until the government could get their act together and be able to help them?
Okay. I think he's heard you. God save the Queen.
Tell the young man call back.
Yeah. These Negroes don't understand. My job is not to take message to Sabbats. My job is to come here on Freedom March. All right? Sabbats got plenty doors in this studio. When I see him coming from door 1, I slip through door 2. Hello?
Hello, Senator.
God save the Queen. What's on your mind?
I have a little situation here.
Okay.
Mr. Munker,
Yes?
I don't know what's going on with this government, but the situation that I am about to speak about is that, they were recruiting Defense Force officers.
Really?
Yes, and they were supposed to start training on Saturday.
Saturday gone?
Saturday coming.
Saturday coming?
Yes.
And what happened?
And what happened is, whatever message that they got on the Defense Force this afternoon, they were calling all the ones who supposed to be going, the recruits, and letting them know that they will have to wait for a later time because they are not doing it. And most of those people, Mr. Munker, already resigned off their jobs.
Really?
And I know my neighbor, he has a baby just 2 months old.
Wow. What's going on? Any idea why Marvin would have changed his mind?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, we're going to have to investigate. I'm going to ask my people in the field to find out what is going on. Because one would have thought that they would just be recruiting because there's about 60,000 Haitians that will soon be sent to Haiti, and I'm certain that many of them will stop off here. And so you would need to have your immigration, your defense force organized in anticipation of that great arrival.
But Mr. Munker,
Yes?
the problem is these people already resigned from their jobs.
Marvin is wrong. I'm going to find
now,
out.
what they supposed to do?
I don't know. I'm going to find out from Marvin. I'm going to send him a message, okay?
Okay.
But you tell them, remain lawful and remain ready for
Okay.
service, okay?
Okay, and I'm one of the women there.
Oh, Lord, I thank you.
And the person who they was going to join.
Yes.
He's one of the men there.
Oh, well, Marvin gonna have to find him a job.
Well, Lord have mercy.
I thank you, my sister.
Okay.
And
Senator,
I give
God save the Queen.
God save the Queen, my Negro sister. And I salute Sister Patricia Clare. You are one of the women them, and I thank you for that kiss. I didn't know the woman them could kiss the way you kiss. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Good day, Mr. Monker.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great, and good day to spiritual advisor. I might like to touch on two things. First, this is what I'm talking about right now. Spiritual advisor, it looks like you need a pay raise because you kind of really quiet now these few past episodes.
Well, no, I'm just taking it in, man. I'm all right.
You think you need more F&M contract?
Well, I believe so.
Okay, this is good. Well, talk.
Yeah, Mr. Monka,
yes?
I'd like to talk about Amber that you had on your show. I don't feel like he should have been on the show.
Why?
Especially with the white, I don't know what that was on the back of his head, but I felt as though he was trying to be a spiritual director
Really?
or a chief commissioner of something. But what I really wanted to talk about is Chester Cooper and Mr. Brave Davis talking about they don't support the bill. They
Well,
need to stop playing politics and
Hold on.
try to work
Hold
together.
on. Hold on. The clock is running out. You stay on because I want to hear what you say. This is Freedom March. I have a Negro man on the line. Hold on. We'll come back to you after the break.
Do you have something to say to the senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. My spiritual advisor, praise the Lord, Bradley Roll, is here. Bradley, before you start to read any text, there was a Negro male with a Negro concern. My Negro brother, are you there?
Is still on the line?
Yeah, Mr. Monco.
Make
What
your
I was
point.
talking about is
Make
the
your-
opposition trying to always reject everything the FNM is trying to put together. I'm a PLP supporter, but what I feel as though Brave Davis them should do, instead of trying to downplay the whole bill, try to give their ideas and thoughts on how it could be improved, because all of them are part of the government. That's Parliament. Their role is in Parliament is to give their feedback on how things could be done.
Okay.
Not just say, oh, I don't like this.
Okay, well, just in case, let me put a question to you. Did you see today's Nassau Guardian?
No, I wasn't able to look at the Nassau Guardian.
I shall invite you, my brother, to look at the Nassau Guardian, and since you have not seen it, I'm going to suggest that you hang up the phone and I shall read to you the contribution of the incoming Deputy Prime Minister of the Bahamas and the Deputy Leader of Her Majesty's Opposition, I, Chester Cooper. You take good care, and I shall read this story to you, okay?
All right, no problem.
Okay, don't answer no more phone right now. You need to educate this PLP young man who has not seen the Nassau Guardian, so that he will know that I speak truth. I'm going to put an asterisk to the name I'm going to put a double one right here, Chester Cooper. Cooper, PLP won't support controversial bill. This is the Nassau Guardian, and that is Cooper. Cooper is the member of Parliament for the island that my mother was born on, Great Exuma. So now let me read today's Nassau Guardian, and I invite every Conky Joe, along with the Negroes, to buy the Nassau Guardian. Things ain't too good with them, you know. So buy it, because I want Candia to keep looking good. Cooper, PLP won't support controversial bill. Exumas and Ragged Island MP Chester Cooper yesterday raised serious concerns with the Commercial Enterprises Bill 2017, charging that the government is rolling out the red carpet for foreign investors. Listen to it, my Negro brother. But ignoring Bahamians. Regrettably, the opposition cannot and will not support this bill in its current form. Cooper said, I would be happy to reconsider. Young man, you heard what Cooper said? I would be happy to reconsider suitable amendments be considered. Cooper asks, why are we running to roll out the red carpet to attract businesses from abroad. Small businesses investment $250,000 at a minimum. Let me read this again, because I'm not saying too well. So let me read it again. Cooper asks, why are we running to roll out the red carpet to attract businesses from abroad? Small businesses investing $250,000 at a minimum, when we need reforms for small businesses domestically, meaning at home in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That is what Chester is saying. The Bahamas and small businesses, the Bahamas and small business people who have been crying and crying and crying for more reforms that make it easier to start a business. This bill seeks to liberalize the granting of work permits to an enterprise that wishes to establish itself in the Bahamas and requires work permits for its management team and key personnel. According to the bill, the Director of Immigration shall determine any work permit applied for not later than 14 days after the filing thereof and the payment of the application fee, failing which the work permit shall be deemed to have been granted pursuant to this act. That's what you want the PLP to agree on? Huh? Let me tell you something, young man, that you are not aware of. I'm going to tell you. In this country, we practice gangsterism. Are you aware of that? Where will be the accountability and the transparency? I can see the gangsterism. So I apply for a work permit and then they misplace it. They may have misplaced it because of gross inefficiency and incompetency. They might have misplaced it for all kind of reason. And once you start misplacing documents, that's the first sign of gangsterism. And then 14 days later, the man in Chub Key, where a whole member of parliament is banned from going, he didn't get a work permit. So when this is gangsterism at its peak. And Brent Simonet will go to hell if it is for 2 days. Because Brent gotta know. See, Brent is one of the smartest in the FNM. And Brent gotta know that this don't make sense. And that's why Chester Cooper has pointed out that we need local reforms to empower the local business people. Brent Simonet is always guilty of this, One of Minister Brent Simolet's greatest sin. You all forget? When Brent bragged that since he became the Minister of Immigration in the previous FNM administration, Lord, I don't want to lie on him, and so I hope my memory is correct. Brent argued how he made $20 million for the public treasury. That's what he said. Now, every time these people give out work permit, it means a Bahamian ain't got no job. Just watch what it is. They're not concerned about how to ensure that we get work. What you think going on in Chub Key? Huh? What you think going on? And they're not collecting the taxes. I with the PLP on this one. Because Brent ain't concerned about those who elected the FNM. So Chester Cooper is correct. And I'm going to read you another piece of line so that you must be educated. And I call on the PLP. You got to call People's Forum, People's Committee. Just invite the people there and Chester could speak to them. so that they would know the argument to abate and to back the F&M propaganda. Y'all ain't learned nothing from Penland. You know what Penland used to do? Penland said, now when they say this, you tell them that. Huh? I could tell you everything Penland say to tell us when we were in opposition. You have to give your people the message. And Chester has plenty message here. We cannot support this because the F&M has been reconverted to what? The foreign national movement. That's who they are. They're a foreign national movement. And Brent, I am hoping, I hate to say this, Brent, because I didn't know your daddy, the late Sir Roland Simnett. But Brent, I hope you buck your big toe. Lord forgive me for saying such a bad things to Brent Simnett. But Brent, may you buck your big toe because you know this is wrong. My spiritual advisor, you have any text to read?
Yeah.
Read text.
You finished with that call on the phone line, right?
He's hanged up.
Okay.
All right?
All right. Mr. Monka, this one caller always calling, always fishing for words to say, and don't be making, I don't know if that's nice.
Well, just say what they say. We will work with the callers.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, gentlemen. Question, Mr. Monka. Who is the Haitian ambassador, and what does his job detail?
The Haitian... Go ahead.
Shouldn't he or she be telling Haitians to go back home and build their own country, even if they are legal or illegal? You need to meet with him or her and have a talk about this nation and their workings together.
Well, when you said the Haitian ambassador, I thought you meant His Excellency Jeffrey August Williams. On Saturday, Dr. Menace is sending his friend to Haiti, Jeff Williams. Jeffrey August Williams. I like Jeff, but he's short of patience. Can you imagine him in Haiti? Jeff can't speak Creole. I don't know if Jeff could curse in Creole. But Menace is sending Jeff to Haiti. And he leaves on Saturday. I want the Haitians, the first thing I want them to do is to take him into the mountain and show Jeff how to tote coffee. And then, of course, I want the people of Haiti to know that Jeff believes in things. So, keep your eyes on him.
Man, I tell you.
And keep him far from Baron Samedi, tout mon haïtien, Samedi Avini, Monsieur Jeffrey ou anglais dit August, Creole haïtien, Jeffrey ou Williams, l'aller dans Haïti, and là il arrive, ma basement nous, pour mettre dans monte. And là il arrive dans monte, ma basement li pour porter café.
Very text, Mr. Monka. I am proud to carry the surname Toussaint, Mr. Monka, and I'm one of the G Sport members. I
Really?
guess you would know who that is.
Listen, tell G I am coming because I love to hang out at the G Spot.
The illegal Haitians in the 242 have until December 31st to get out, and the U.S. now giving them deadline. Where will all these people run, Mr. Monka? I mean, are they coming to the Bahamas? You think Mr. Menace or Donald Trump had a little chit-chat? Man, suddenly they all on the same page here.
Well, I'm going to appeal to President Trump tomorrow because the only thing I didn't do was mark my X. But I supported President Trump. I prayed for him. I asked God to send me someone who will make America great. And Donald Trump is the Donald. I'm going to ask him if he could give the Haitian like another 5 years and citizenship. Because I believe that Donald Trump is a saved man. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monka. Mr. Marvin Dames was not Minister of National Security when the weapons went missing. So why did he jump in front and say all the guns are accounted for? Something is very fishy with that.
But I told you what it was. Marvin is linked to a number of activists. Don't forget, Commander Bo worked with Marvin for Sarkis. So that's a suguluga.
Good afternoon, Senator. Sir Arlington Butler's daughter is a lawyer. She knows the law. They're pulling a scare tactic on the stepmother. That is wrong. Don't do
Be
that.
careful.
Yeah, I don't know why they
Do
said
not
that.
accuse the stepchildren them because we don't know what the facts are. You see that woman named Ramona Farquharson Seymour? You know what she did to me? She defended one of two men accused of murdering my first cousin love child. You heard me? Her client won. And I was standing in the front of the court and she balled her fist. Me and her ain't had no argument. And guess where she strike me? You hear me? Man ain't punched me as hard as she punched me. And she punched me in my groins. I had to play man and don't fall. Because when that woman draw off and punch me in my groins hurt so much. You hear me? But I had to play strong because there was so much people there. All right? The woman punched me. And I turned to the police. I say, you see how this woman punched me? And the police then pretended like they didn't hear what I say. And I heard a word said, Monica, walk away. And I walk away. That's him, Marunda Farquharson Seymour.
Is the boat the celebration you was thinking about that was going to Freeport? Is it celebration?
It could have been this one boat. Celebration, one boat, the American government either in Freeport or Bimini. And the U.S. government rented it and sent it down to Dominica. So ministers didn't have to send the Lawrence down there.
Mr. Monica, it is sad what family can do to you. I am a disabled woman. My husband died 5 years ago. I was unable to contribute to his burial, so they moved his body from the mortician of my choice. They even kept the book that was signed in the church. I felt so hurt.
Don't worry about that.
The Bluff Carolina must have been the worst human feeling I could have ever experienced.
Don't worry about it. You need to come to some of my family funeral. My grandma and her sister, they had two funerals because they row over their dead sister's son. And we had two funerals. I leave one church at a certain time when my grandma was holding one funeral and then went to my grand auntie funeral. So don't worry about it. And then I had a cousin who daddy didn't leave anything in the will. They're going to read the will in the graveyard. And when she heard that she didn't get anything, she hollered, Papa gone, Papa gone. And she went to the back of the grave and found a big bullet of rock. And as she hollered, oh, Papa gone, Papa gone, she took that rock and BAM! And I'm certain if Papa came back again, he would never dispossess her. So these things happen. Stop reading these will in the graveyard.
Mr. Monica, don't you think Miss Roll probably felt like her father giving her father or her father getting a contract may have been nepotism?
There is no nepotism. Anyone who bless Ambada, there is no nepotism because Ambada is a good man. And every party in power, when Ambada show up, they know he come for his little contract. All right? I think Alicia, it was mean. Go ahead.
Gentlemen, Mr. Thompson's daughter is too rude. She should be ashamed of herself, and her husband need to sit his. Anyhow, let's skip that, man. I don't know if that making any sense.
Go ahead. What else they saying?
Mr. Monica, good afternoon. I'm one of the women there. We need to stop the violence against women,
yes,
girls, and also men.
Yes.
Mr. Monica, what is the name of the lady that told the Attorney General that Frankie is straight?
I have to call the president of that group so I can get her name, but she's like fat and tall and plenty hair. Okay? Frankie ain't straight. Say I even ain't gone into his document. I can do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is which day, my spiritual advisor?
Tomorrow's the 25th.
What day?
Friday.
We wake on Friday?
Yes, we do, yeah.
Okay. Say I got two. This one with so many pages. And this one that they're telling me I shouldn't get all the pages. All right? Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Mr. Monica, please tell the guests it's the people's time. Don't cry now. You put them there, so take your chafing. Senator, you tell the woman them to submit to the man. Sound like Lanisha Roll is one of the woman them. You hear him, it's the people's time. That's why he in this problem.
But that's a good man. And he's
boy,
getting married
people
on
is something
Sunday.
else. Good afternoon, Mr. Monica. I think this bill you have just read about from the Guardian will seek to benefit the minister, proposing in it the areas of insurance, trade, and investment, which falls on his portfolio. Also, it seems at this early stage to create direct competition for small business operators in the country. Lastly, where are the economic zones to which the bill is supposed to open? Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting question. To which the bill is supposed to open up. Oh, okay. We're at the barbershop, Mr. Monica, and we're watching you.
Tout pep moi yo. Map defende haïtien.
Good evening, Mr. Monica. How do you feel about the new bill? All right, you just dealt with that. Let's see.
My spiritual advisor, are you picking over these texts?
Hello, Brad. I guess that's me. I've been busy, as you can see. Please send a shout out to me for such a job well done. Tell Sandra I say God save the Queen. Thank you. Who's this?
God save the Queen. That's Lucille.
Oh, okay.
God save the Queen.
Good day, Senator and Mr. Roll. Mark Humes don't live in Fort Charlotte.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean to tell me Mark has me fooled? No wonder he didn't hear the gunshots, because they were firing across from his headquarters.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That one is rather length. Okay, we'll skip that one. Okay, let's go to the. Okay, Mr. Moncur.
Yes.
I blame your spiritual advisor for Rodney talking nonsense at 60. Nothing Rodney talk about ever come true. No one came on the beach. Bahama is open. Frankie is still in Parliament. Moncur.
Listen,
you're
people did come on the beach, but they sabotaged me. The Negro man that I paid all that money for to set up from 7 a.m., the son of a gun never arrived until about 2:30.
Good afternoon, Senator.
And don't mind Marvin. Who should say straight? Frankie.
Yeah.
Frankie is not straight. I got Frankie affidavit, you know. You hear me? Frankie remains in the Parliament because the Parliament is not honorable. If they were, Dr. Minnis and the Speaker would have demanded his documents quietly to determine if the allegations which I submit is correct. But they have not done it. Don't forget who these are, you know. These are not nation builders. These are political hustlers. That's what they are. God forgive me for saying it, but the facts will show it out. They're not nation builders. You see, Minnis? Minnis is spiting all kind of people. I got a whole line of Negroes who is claiming spite, but I asked Minnis to recognize that there is a God, and he's given the people wisdom. And one day, they're going to go back to the poll and vote you out.
Spiritual advisor, as a member of St. Joseph Catholic Church, Mr. Moncur is not saved, and it's not serious. You attack too much Catholics, Mr. Moncur.
Which Catholic? If the Catholic...
And you need to be asking for forgiveness from these members.
I attack Lynn Holovesco. She's a member of the Catholic Church. My attack was so severe that the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram demanded of me to bring the documents to him. And I have the documents. I just didn't get around to give it to Papa. These people, you have to be very careful. When you are a Christian, you have to then exhibit Christian principles. That's what you have to do. I'm a sinner. I've always accepted that. And when it is drawn to my attention, I ask God for forgiveness and those who I have offended. Because I don't play church. All right? So if I attack a Catholic, it means that I concluded that he did wrong. As simple as that. I attack Baptists. You see? I come here today to attack Sister Palacios. But there's a man by the name of Stanley Mitchell who likes her. And every time he hears that I'm about to attack Mother Angela, he makes appeal to me. And so for a day or two, I pretend that he's influencing me. Because people must have the right to believe that they can influence you. Take Jeff, what's Jeff's name? The Minister of Education.
It's Jeffrey Lloyd.
Yeah. He tried to undermine my argument. But today, they're now demanding all the teachers and all the students from Aaron Bailey to return to the school that they have not sanitized yet. Why? Because they recognize that a tuberculosis epidemic is potentially on the rise. But when I talked about it, he issued statement to undermine my argument. And by grab, the next thing he knows, he has to close the school down because 10 teachers are infected and 2 students. And today in the newspaper, I think the Bahama Journal, they now want them to return to school because it is a serious, serious matter developing in our country. And I'm not trying to frighten anybody. Go check for yourself because I check. My spiritual advisor will be coming to the end of the
somebody
show.
says to remind you that the post office is still closed.
The post office is still closed?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the good thing about it is you could use email. The good thing is you could use email. Listen, folks, I thank you for joining me, and if it is God's will, tomorrow, the Commission of Inquiry, all I got is commission and evidence that the country is full of skullduggery. Take it care. God save the Queen.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.